I'm back. So in the last video I got the engine all reinstalled, put back in. I mentioned right at the end I was taking off for vacation and I didn't really have time to test it out too much. What was happening is it was stumbling quite a bit. No acceleration, but I didn't have time to test it. I figured a vacuum leak just because of all the emission stuff, the little vacuum tubes. I broke one that I fixed, but I figured there was another break somewhere. Turns out there wasn't. I went for a drive yesterday and drove far enough that I would have reset the computer since it was all unplugged, and it didn't change. What I did find was one of the spark plugs, number 4 spark plug wire, wasn't fully seated. That took care of the acceleration problem. The problem is I still have a stumble. At idle especially, you can feel it really jerky. So my guess is it's the injectors. I swapped in, when I did all this, I swapped in some injectors that I bought that had supposedly been rebuilt and flow tested not long ago. I don't know if they are having problems. I don't know what the deal is. That's my guess at this point. But I also know that I had the engine upside down. I was working on it. There's lots of oil in it. And if you watched the last video, you could hear when I was cranking over the engine, you could hear the oil bubbling in there. I'm wondering if maybe I fouled a spark plug also with the oil just sitting on them for so long. So today I'm going to swap out the spark plugs real quick. Make sure all my plug wires are run so they're not laid over the top of each other and maybe causing a crossfire condition. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to be pulling the intake manifold, or at least the upper intake, and swapping out the injectors. Also yesterday I had a little bit of time, so I worked on my radiator, or radiator where the ATF enters. So it was stripped out right here. I'll edit in the video right here. I'll put in what I did yesterday, but essentially I just swapped out to a different shorter nut and put in a 3/8 MPT with some thread sealant. I tapped it for 3/8 MPT and it has a 5/16 female on it, flare adapter on the female side, and no more leaks. Okay, so you can see what I did here. A little better angle on this. So this is one of the long fittings. So it's 5/16. Here's the short fitting. So it doesn't have threads here at the first. And you can see the first 2 threads just stripped out. But with this fitting, I think I have enough threads, which I've threaded in there, and it'll hold. So all I'm going to do is cut this fitting off, reflare it, and I'll put this fitting on, reflare it, and call it good. Hopefully that'll take care of the leak. I also yesterday had to shift the core support over. It was off. Here, I'll pull this down. The lines body lines were way off, and now they're pretty even. So just had to shove the core support over about, I don't know, half an inch. Made all the difference. The other thing I did yesterday was I augered out the bracket right here, make everything fit. I had to notch the radiator bracket also to get everything to fit right. Quick and easy, but got that in. So at this point everything is mounted. I also went around, I checked all my vacuum hoses for leaks. So got all these right here. I sprayed around the intake with some card cleaner and everything was good. I stuck my vacuum gauge on it. I had a steady 20 inches of vacuum, so pretty sure there's not a vacuum leak at this point. So just this little stumble that I got to figure out. Well, I think I found my problem. So there's only 7 spark plugs. I broke one when I was pulling the engine, so I bought a whole new set and just threw in the one that I broke. But as you can see, they don't look horrible. A little oily, but I haven't really driven it since then. But we get over here to number 8 and see if I can get a better picture of it. Yeah, not firing because the ground strap is up against the conductor. So there you go. Good thing I checked the easy stuff first. Glad I didn't pull the whole intake. So now let's see if it runs a little better. Alright, here we go. Seems to be running a lot smoother, that's for sure. Look at that, nice and smooth. Well, I think it's time to go for a drive, see how it does. Okay, here we go, let's try this. For whatever reason, now my ABS light is on. Don't know what I did. But it's running a whole lot better. Run like it should. Pretty good now. Like I said, running like normal. Sweet. But now I'm gonna have to figure out that ABS lane, which kind of sucks. Hoping I just hit a sensor or something while I was messing around down there. Okay, well there you go. As you saw, it's running great now. I have no idea how I smashed that ground strap on that. It was the number 8 spark plug. Not sure what happened there, but pretty easy fix. Just reinforces that, yeah, make sure you check the easy stuff first. I was honestly real close to just pulling the upper intake and swapping out all my injectors, but didn't have to do it. I'm happy about that. Turns out it was about a $2 fix with a new spark plug. Now, as you saw, I have an ABS light going on. I'm not sure what's going on with that. My guess is, while I was crawling around in there, the ABS pump's right there. I might have hit something. I'm not sure really, so I'm gonna have to dig into that a little bit, but that's my guess. Everything was fine until just now, so I'll crawl in there and take a look. Okay, well here you go. Another quick, easy fix. While I was doing my spark plugs, apparently knocked this loose. That's the wire that goes to your ABS sensor on the passenger side. It is not in all the way. So, hard to do one-handed, but it was loose. I pulled it right out. So, I'm gonna make sure that's plugged in all the way and see if the light's off. Alright, let's see if it's off. Light is off. Look at that. Good deal. think that's it for this video. Did a couple quick upgrades. So luckily it was just a spark plug that was bad. I was kind of worried about that. Like I said, I was real close to pulling the intake and swapping out the injectors, but didn't need to do that. The other good thing is that ABS light, while I was putting in the spark plugs, obviously I knocked that connector loose. Again, quick, easy fix. I figured it had to be something in there. I was just in there. It wasn't on before that, so that was easy to find. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Make sure you click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. I can sure use the support. So that's all. See you next time.